Um, I'll do just a short video on Libby's work, Marine Libby, and I think she's got the account on YouTube is NCR something something. I'll find that tag or that handle, and I'll attach her to this video because this is her work. Having discussions with her about the so when Nut was first introduced, Libby will have the exact timing of this first real documentary. I think it was 2017. It was before the Netflix documentary, and it's a documentary called When Harry Met Meghan or something like that. And Nicola or Katie Nichol. I can never remember her name because she's not that important, but she's just a shill for the palace. It's just so funny because the narrative given was that you can't find this documentary. I don't know how Libby found this documentary, so it's amazing because I couldn't find it. It's not available on YouTube anymore. The first narrative was that that Marcus was the one who actually hooked Todge up with Nut, and that Marcus was the friend that connected them both, which is very, very odd and doesn't make any sense because Marcus was also not in the UK when Nut was there in 2016. So they had to change the story, but this is still after 2016. This is still after this all happened, and this is the first storytelling of this fake relationship and fake courtship that was done by the palace under royal expert instruction to Katie Nichol. So this is how you know that the palace is always known and has been the one orchestrating this entire PR campaign of Nut's identity and the identity of the relationship, because they changed the entire storyline of their courtship between this documentary and the Netflix documentary to make it more believable and convincing. This is how, again, black and white, this narrative has been in this falsehood of an operation to bring globalism to the monarchy, or the monarchy to go to globalism and be accepted as. So have a listen. Oh, no, that's a different one.
A consultant for the fashionable Soho house chain. And Marcus Anderson, a consultant for the fashionable Soho house chain.
Meghan was hanging out with Marcus and hanging out at Soho House, and when the Prince heard about it, he asked Marcus if he could set up, not a date, but an opportunity for them to meet. And that happened in one of the private rooms of Soho House in Dean Street. There were, about 7 or 8 of them together. It was the perfect opportunity for Harry and Meghan to sort of come together in a really informal environment and just actually talk. But she was funny, feisty, confident. She didn't seem too swayed or knocked by the fact that he was Prince Harry, and she thought he was terribly cute. And he thought, well, this is a cracking girl.
For a few days, it seems the couple saw each other intensively and then parted. And Marcus Anderson.
That was the first story.
Consultant.
So basically, there were 7 or 8 of them in the first date they had. It was a group dinner or catch up at Dean Street, Soho House. That was a very quiet recording. So I'm just going to, I will play it again if you can, turn the volume up or hear it, and maybe subtitles will come through as well. But basically, Katie Nichol, literally, this was her script. They all, Todge asked Marcus Anderson to arrange a for him to meet Nut, so that Marcus arranged a 7 to 8 group get together where they could introduce one another at Soho House, Dean Street. This is the initial story, completely different to what you've believed and what you've been brainwashed to believe, and told thereafter by the Palace and British Communications, and by this same woman, Katie Nicholl, who changed her story very, very quickly, just like Sam Yvonne Markle, just like her brother, just like her father, just like Nut, just like everyone in this whole entire British orchestration. Yeah. So let's hear it again. You're going to hear the story if you just want to put your volume up or have the subtitles ready.
For the fashionable Soho House chain.
Meghan was hanging out with Marcus and hanging out at Soho House, and when the prince heard about it, he asked Marcus if he could set up, not a date, but an opportunity for them to meet. And that happened in one of the private rooms of Soho House in Dean Street. There were, about 7 or 8 of them together. It was a perfect opportunity for Harry and Meghan to sort of come together in a really informal environment and just actually talk. But she was funny, feisty, confident. She didn't seem too swayed or knocked by the fact that he was Prince Harry, and she thought he was terribly cute. And he thought, well, this is a cracking girl.
For a few days, it seems the couple saw each other intensively and then parted.
So for only a couple of days after the first group catch up, they saw each other intensively and then they parted. That was the story. I haven't seen anything further that Libby may be able to produce, but I don't know what the story then is thereafter of how they kind of caught up, and if I don't think Africa was even a part of that narrative, but that is the initial narrative. Yeah, and so there's one more thing that Libby found. I'm just going to try to put that up, and that is that in this same documentary, they call Meghan Markle a recruit of the palace, and they say, unlike every other recruit or unlike all the other recruits, palace recruits, Meghan Markle was this. So that just tells you again that she's a contractual arrangement since the beginning, and has always been the case. She's a recruit. You can say that that's just wording, and that she was recruited on because of her relationship with Todge. But if that relationship isn't real, and we've just proven that even the whole courtship is a lie and an acting job, then she is a recruit. So have a look, have a listen.
Meghan Markle. Unlike previous recruits to the royal family, Meghan Markle. Unlike previous recruits to the royal family, Meghan Markle. Unlike previous recruits to the royal family, Meghan Markle.
Yeah. So well done, Libby. That was amazing work. And it just further confirms everything I've been talking about and what I uncovered from very early on, that this whole thing was a complete and utter lie. And it also goes back to the 2013 polo photo that I've shown you, and then the 2014 photos in Miami I showed you, and I'm sure there's other stuff I can produce to help, and also the whole identity construct, including the marriage and education of Nut, and just everything, her family, everything. It just goes with the recruiting of Meghan Markle into the palace just for a job. Thank you.